What's going on, world? It's Clarence Brown again with another male point of view. Today's topic, we're gonna jump right into it. It's called ways to make your man listen more. And this is a real touchy topic because a lot of women want to know, ways that they can influence their man to listen more. And I can think back to times when I'd gone through marriage counseling with my wife, and the marriage counselor would say to us that a lot of couples, when they find themselves in hardship and they get divorced, they would ask the woman, why did you turn on your man, or what made you so angry toward him, or discouraged, in terms of the relationship being stable, and what made you want to get divorced. And if it wasn't infidelity or money, 9 out of 10 times they were saying that, well, my man don't listen to me more. He doesn't listen enough, excuse me. So, this is a reason why I wanted to kind of give ladies a insight on ways to make men listen more, and things that turn us off and turn our ears completely off when it comes to listening to a woman. Okay? So, uh, first of all, I just think that it starts with timing. Then it starts with respect. A woman has to speak to a man with respect. Secondly, it comes down to the language that you use. It's not always what you say, but how you say it. The words that you use and the tones that you use. So if a woman uses proper timing, a lot of times it makes a huge difference when it comes to making a man listen. I'm sure you heard the saying, timing is everything. In this case, women, this applies, and it's at a premium. Okay, I'm sure you all heard of or have seen situations where a woman overreacts on a man. Maybe she sees her man riding down the street with a girl in his passenger side, and she automatically assumes that he's cheating or he's got another woman, and she blows up on him, shooting him texts, or calling his phone 100 million times, all because he thinks that he's cheating on her, only to find out that was his sister or a friend of the family, or had nothing to do with infidelity or him doing wrong. But she automatically assumed that he was doing wrong, or seen something that made her judgment turn on him. So I just want to start out by saying, women, timing is everything. Don't rush so much to assume things or have assumptions in the back of your mind. I'm sure things have happened to you in your past, and maybe you might not trust a man as much. You have your third eye open on him, and you want to make sure that he's being true to what he's saying or what he's saying to you. But women, you gotta make sure that you have the right timing. You want to make sure that when you have something to say to him, y'all are one on one. You don't want to go behind his back, or be saying things to him while he's in the middle of his family or in a professional setting. I mean, that really is not gonna make anything make him listen anymore. Actually, it's gonna make him shut down, and ain't gonna do nothing but piss him off. And just to touch back on it, don't embarrass your man out of anger or spite. Okay, when it comes down to timing, you want to make sure that you're not in an angry mode, or you just you so turned up right now that you want to just talk about it right now, and you want to get stuff off your chest, because that might not be the best time to talk about it. It might be a situation where you might want to cool off for a few minutes, or let him cool off for a few minutes, depending on who's mad or the situation at hand. But you might not want to just jump right into the fire pit and say, okay, let's get it on right now. Let's discuss this topic, or let me get this off my chest and say what I got to say, because it's going to fall on deaf ears. I'm telling you. Now, the second thing, or the second reason I think that is going to help you or influence you, or let's say influence your man to listen more, is to know that it's not what you say, but how you say it. Sometimes you might say something in a tone to where it's not so welcoming to the ears for a man. So when you come into the house, or say a man comes home, and you, baby, who put the keys over here on the counter? The keys go over there. Why so many dishes in the sink? All this stuff. The tone that you use plays a huge role on if the message is going to be received by your man. If you say something in a tone where you have a bitchy tone, and you have a tone where you're moaning or whining, a lot of times a man is gonna either shut down or turn up on you. You know, they're gonna either shut down and say, "Man, I don't have time for this," or "I don't want to hear this," or they're gonna get upset and angry at you or frustrated because of your tone. And the message that you have is not gonna go over. It's not going to sink in with him, no matter what it is, whether you're right or wrong. Now, this next tip I'm gonna give you, ladies, is very important. Actually, it's one of the biggest tips that I think is going to help you to get your man to listen more. Okay, and it's for you ladies out there to understand that when dealing with a man, you got to know that it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. That we're not gonna listen to whatever you're saying to us if you're using disrespectful language or you're yelling at us. Okay, you have to find a way to manage and control your emotions, ladies, if you want your man to listen to you. Okay. Now, like I said earlier, even if you're right, we not gonna listen. We just gonna discard everything that you're saying for the simple fact that you didn't come at us right. You didn't have the respect in your language or in your tone of voice. Okay, so when you do that, you can't expect us to take in anything you're trying to say, even if what you're saying to us is right. Okay. Now, if it's something that you want done around the house, or it's something that we're doing wrong that you want us to change, then you're gonna have to say, well, babe, do you mind just doing this for me? I really don't like when you do such and such, or when you do this one thing, it's just something about it that I really don't like. But if you could do it for me, if you don't mind just changing it for me, or I like to see it this way. Do you mind just doing it for me, just for me, boo? Please, thank you. Okay. A man might listen to that more so than if you come at him like, babe, why the hell you did this and da da da? You know I hate when you da 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 da. You know that I don't like when you this, that, and the third, and you do this or that, and you know that makes me mad. You know that pissed me off, and I hate that. That's gonna draw nothing but more combativeness from the man, as opposed to more of a welcoming ear to what the message is that you're trying to give him. When you're trying to say something to him, that you want him to change in a certain way, then you're gonna have to change your delivery if you want him to be accepting of what you're trying to say to him. So women, like I said, this tip is most helpful because of the fact that you gotta understand that it's not always the message, it's the delivery. Okay? So when you saying something to your man, you know, like I said earlier, you could be right all day, but if you don't come at us right, we're not even having our ears open for you to listen to what you're saying. We're more so like in a defensive mind state. We're more so with our guard up, like, oh snap, here it comes, as opposed to, okay, I got you, babe, no worry, your man will take care of it. Okay, so women, just remember that, because it's most important that when you saying something to your man, make sure your delivery is right. Babe, talk to him with more respectful tone. Talk to him more, one on one instead of in front of everybody. If you want to, get some sort of a message to sink in with him. So, just do that. That, like I said, that's one of the biggest tips, and one of the biggest downfalls that women have when it comes to talking to their man, because they may think, well, I'm right. Well, you wrong and I'm right. And the man's thinking that I don't give a damn if you was right all day, but you tried me, so I'm not gonna listen to that, and I'm not gonna accept that. So where you may be right, you got to come at them in a different way. You have to be a little more clever when dealing with men, because we are sensitive when it comes to how a person approaches us. To sum it all up for you ladies, it's not too hard or complex to get a man to listen once you understand how your man operates when it comes to receiving a message from his woman or anybody in general. So once you understand how a man works, then it's easy for you to come across and get something across to your man when a message is involved with something that you want him to do or change. You can get that to him a lot more easily. Okay. So remember, ladies, that when you are trying to get your man to listen, or you're saying something to your man that you want him to take in, and you want to sink in with him and resonate with him, then first of all, understand timing is everything. You don't want to embarrass your man out of anger or spite by bringing up something while he's in the middle of a professional setting or around his friends or family or your friends or family. Okay? Make sure you're using respectful tones and language. You know, you don't want to be cursing at them or yelling at them, because that's not going to yield any good results, okay, at all. Your man not going to listen. He's going to shut down on you. I almost can guarantee it. Okay, unless you got that special type of man out there that's just the yes man that does or whatever. But for the most men, the everyday man that I'm thinking about and I'm talking about, or the guys that I'm hanging around or being around with, we all operate the same way pretty much, and it's that you want to come at them with respectful tones, respectful language. The timing, again, is very important, okay? And being respectful of the man when you approach him, okay, is another thing. And lastly, you want to make sure that you know that it's not going to matter if you're right or wrong, but the delivery is most important, okay? It's most important when you're trying to get your man to listen, okay? So I want to just challenge you ladies out there to use these tips that I'm giving you and see what kind of results you get back from them. See what kind of response you get from your man. See if you can get a more of a listening from your man, a more of a message being resonated with him and sinking in, and more things that you want done from your man, or maybe adjustments that you want to see from your man happen. I challenge you ladies to use these tips and see what kind of results you get from them. Okay? So again, this is Clarence Brown, a male point of view. Hit my page up with comments, whatever you want to talk about, or if you want to hit me up with comments, maybe you thought that I left some things out, or you want to add some things that maybe can help, or tips that can help others out there, leave them in my inbox. I'm always open to suggestions and comments. So, just all around, follow me, like my pics, like my posts. It's Clarence Brown coming at you one again. Peace.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, partially functional.